Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Stryftek, and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Is it worth your time? On trial today, Psychonauts 2. Released in August of 2021, this game is available on Microsoft Windows, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 4, Mac OS, and Linux. I'll provide as many links as I can in the description of where you can find it. Personally, I played it on the newly renamed PC Game Pass. Created by Double Fine Productions, this is the same studio behind the first Psychonauts, Brutal Legend, Grim Fandango, Broken Age, and many others. Psychonauts 2 is a third-person, story-rich 3D platformer with a twist. Now, I've never played the first Psychonauts, so when I went into this, I went in clueless with no expectations. And wow, there's a lot to unpack. This game is basically if Tim Burton tried to make Inception, but for kids. As you start the game, you're given a great flashback of the previous events. Here's a little snippet of that.
We found Truman there, held captive by Dr. Lobato, unlicensed dentist and amateur brain surgeon. We freed Grandhead Zonato, but he's got Silurian poisoning and can't tell us what happened. We know Lobato wasn't acting alone, but he won't tell us who hired him to kidnap Truman. Agent 9 has an idea how to get the information, using an elaborate psychic construction implanted in Lobato's mind. It's risky, but that's just a way of life when you're a psychonaut. If I don't make it back, I really hope you consider publishing my letter. And also, please consider the sample layout and illustrations I included. Well, I better get my head in the right place. The mission is about to begin.
All in all, this was a smart move. The first game came out in 2005, so those that played it then aren't really going to remember all the events, and people like me who've never played it before, well, the recap was very much welcomed. Now, to note, there were some parts of the game that I do feel probably would have had a greater impact on me had I played the first game, but all in all, this game is very new player friendly. From here, things just go crazy in a good way. There are multiple twists, plot points, and whatnot that threw me off guard and were just so well done. The story is very much one of the high points in this game.
There, now that your cap is clean, let's check out those choppers. If I didn't know better, I'd swear this place had gremlins.
For the most part, this is your typical third-person action-adventure game. You have lots of exploring, collecting, and then returning to previous locations once you've unlocked a new ability. All of it feels solid except for the combat. You have tons of abilities at your disposal. The enemies have great design, each of them with their own strengths and weaknesses. The combat, it just feels a little disjointed. There's a sense of fluidity that's missing. Things just don't flow nicely together while you're in combat. Luckily, this isn't a deal breaker. It feels good enough, though you probably won't be excited to go into combat. The game does make up for it in many other ways. For one, the level design is incredible. Now, it did certainly help that the premise of the game was traveling into someone's mind. With that stage set, you could literally do anything with the level design. Each location is distinct and unique, and they all draw upon the character whose mind you just entered.
The end is coming!
Oh, give it a rest, guy!
Death is coming from above! Guy was right. All hail Guy the Prophet.
With all of this freedom of level design, the exploration becomes the main attraction. Every location is just teeming with things to look at, things to find, secrets to unfold. Though I may not have been excited for the combat, I was always excited to go into someone else's mind or go to a new place or explore a new area. And then the levels themselves are actually their own gameplay elements. For example, in one of the mines you enter, you actually end up on a cooking show and you have to grab the ingredients and prepare a dish and then impress the judges.
It's time for...
Ram it down!
The minigame was not only a lot of fun, but it did a couple of really clever things. It took its current gameplay mechanics and mixed them up in a way that made it feel fresh and a whole ton of fun, while also making a profound statement on the person's current state of mind. Psychonauts also pays attention to the little things. For example, there's an ability called clairvoyance. When you use it on someone, you can see through their eyes. What's cool about that is you get to see how they see you through their eyes. I was always jumping into people's eyes to see how they saw me. We don't have any state-of-the-art photorealistic graphics here. This is a heavily stylized cartoon look, and it works really well. And honestly, a more realistic tone would not have worked well. I mean, you're traveling around someone's mind, so it's gonna get a little crazy. At the same time, the music does a great job of mirroring the locations that you're in. For example, there's a casino level where you're trying to win a baby. This makes so much more sense when you're playing it, but the music in the background, if you listen closely, it's the classic Rockabye Baby tune.
Ooh, it smells like somebody up there already had a jackpot in their diaper.
So, is it worth your time? Yes, this is a unique and incredibly fun game. I can totally see why it was nominated in many categories for the Game Awards this year. So if you have the Xbox Game Pass, it's free on there right now. Go check it out. Otherwise, at $60, it is still a solid yes from me.
Power
Sam, what are you...
of
Oh no.
Will! You're welcome.
My name's Stryftek, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, by all means, click that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you next time on Is It Worth Your Time?